Oh no, you're not ruining another video here. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's a reference probably nobody's gonna get. Velo, my name is the Smiler, and welcome back to more without the logic. So this requires a little bit of an explanation. On my last video, well, not my last video, but my last tutorial video, I built a skybase elevator, and basically, the video was a little poor quality, and Connor pointed it out to me, and I agreed with him. So you know what I did? I decided that I needed to make a huge bulky elevator, and you've seen the title of the video if you're clicked on it. This is a multi-floor recallable elevator, meaning you can if it's on another floor, you can make it come to your floor, and it's all well and good. So basically, let me just show you how it works really quickly. You press this button, and then the elevator comes down to your floor. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? And then you can go up a floor. I mean, you really don't need me to give you too much of an explanation on this one, right? You can go up to any floor, you can go down from any floor. It's really cool. And honestly, I I love this design, but just a few disclaimers with this I need to make. This thing actually can still work as a skybase elevator if you wanted to have a multi-floor skybase elevator, of course. But basically, the only thing you would really need is the blue part, the yellow and the orange part. You'll get a better seeing of that later, but basically, yeah, that's the minimum you need. So if you don't want to build all the other bulky stuff, you just want your elevator to go up and down from any floor, then go ahead, do that. But if you want recall, which honestly is super cool, then this is the tutorial for you. I mean, you'll still learn how to build the rest of it. I'm just rambling on at this point. Just warning, not the best for multiplayer. It's a slime block flying machine, which isn't always the most multiplayer friendly. So and also, recall can break the system if somebody's already using the elevator and somebody hits recall, because unfortunately, that's just how it works. So just be aware. It can break easier multiplayer, but not to deter you from using it. I just kind of want to say, don't try to use it for serious use. Use it more for like role plays or just for fun. Not for your base that you have to constantly go up and down in this thing. Just use it for fun. Don't use it for actual serious use. It's a cool thing, and that's what it's made to be. It's just cool. So just be aware of that. Another thing to be aware of is that if you use recall on any of the middle floors, there's a danger that the doors open and close twice. So you may get a little smash if you run in there too fast. Just a little thing to be aware of. Without recall, the elevator is actually really durable and is a lot harder to break. Of course, it's still a slime block flying machine, so it's not hard to break still, but it won't be broken because somebody tries to use recall, because there will be no recall, so you'll kind of see. So I pre-set up the framework here, and yeah, this is just gonna make, I think it improves the quality of the tutorial, and also improves the quality of my brain processing powers, just so it doesn't take forever for me to build this whole thing. It's probably gonna take me hours to finish this tutorial, but I've probably done about like 13 intros already, so I mean, what can you do? There can be as many middles if you want, of course, because it's a multi-floor elevator. As long you can go up to sky limit if you want, and just make sure you space things out correctly. Because if you don't, you'll run it. You'll see what I mean. There's a minimum around amount of space you need to have between each floor, and then at the end I'll add some sort of safety system just to make it so recall isn't as likely to be activated and your whole thing breaks. Because honestly, recall is the thing that breaks it. If you get excited when you build this, and you hit recall too fast without these things turning off, the elevator will break. But I will show you how to fix it if that does happen, and it's actually not too hard to fix. So it's honestly, like I said, just a fun design. So anyways, now let's actually get into the tutorial part of the video. Please let me know if I rambled on for too long. I'm a little nervous about that. Alright, so I kind of lied when I said we were going to start building right away, but I want to show you the materials first, and feel free to come back to this point anytime in the video. So basically, this right here is kind of like the minimum materials you're going to need. So this one's for the bottom floor. Feel free to pause. Mid sections, I say mid sections because you can have as many of those as you want. And the top. Alright, so that's, like I said, the minimum materials, and now we have the doors. Just as a little bit of a warning, you cannot have the recall without the doors, so that's just my warning to you. So you have the bottom door, and then doors for any other floors. And those are the doors, and then here is recall. And another disclaimer with this, I did not add observers into here just because the observers mounts will vary drastically from the amount of floors you have and all that stuff. So I'm going to add the observers at the very end, and you'll be able to see that, but feel free to pause. And mid sections. And the top. Also, another thing to be aware of, these you don't have to have cakes. With the composter, it just needs to be filled up 3 times, or you can use a cauldron with water in it. It just depends on what resource you want to use. So the composter just needs to go up 3 times. So yeah. Kicks are just the easiest because they make sure it goes up every time, but you can use whatever you can fit into the composter. It just needs to go 3 levels up. Alright, well, that is all the materials. Now, we can actually start building this thing. Hey guys, let's get on to the building part. If you look down at the bottom of my computer screen, you'll find the time. And if you want to skip back and see what time it was before, basically I placed some observers the wrong way and ended up having to redo a lot. And I'm just a little done right now. Anyways, I'm gonna start off with the minimum part, and I'm just gonna dig this hole so you guys can get a little bit better of an idea of what you need to do when digging this hole. But anyways, and then I'm gonna come back up here to this part because you'll be able to see stuff a lot better. So I'm just gonna start digging off the hole, and then I'll come back up and build the actual elevator itself. But it's a 2x2, 4 blocks down hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're just gonna, place this, whatever, and that way, whatever way that is facing, that's gonna be the back of your elevator. Now, you're just gonna make sure there's spaces there, and then you're just gonna fill in, well, you don't need obsidian right here underneath the observer, but I like to do it just in case, yeah, prepare for the worst. And then you're just gonna fill in the rest of this hole's walls with obsidian, and yeah. And that should hopefully make it easier for a lot of you. And now I'm gonna get into building the elevator. Just really quickly, I almost forgot to mention, or I already have mentioned, I'm going to be building these in the sections I showed the materials for, and just, in order, that way. So just be aware, I'm not going to build everything once, just so people can get out of you faster who only build the minimum. Anyways, another thing is that make sure you have a safety block on top when you build this elevator, because otherwise, bad things will happen. Just trust me. And make sure to remove that at the end, otherwise you'll be like, why isn't it? Oh yeah. I've done similar stuff. Just trust me. Anyways, we got this observer facing the back of here. This is the back of here. If you're confused at all, hopefully you weren't. And now we just place the observer on top of that, a redstone block. Then you're gonna fill this top up with slime blocks. You can leave a block here if you need to get out. I have sideways to get out, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Then you're gonna place a sticky piston facing downwards. If I can, come on, there we go. And now you're just gonna do that. Place a sticky piston facing upwards and a slime block on top of that. And now you're going to place the glass up here, and that is that floor. And that is the flooring, so yeah, flooring of your choice. Choose whatever you want. And now I'm going to place a dropper here. You don't have to place the dropper first. I'm just placing it there just so I can remind myself. And now you're going to place a button at the top. I'm placing the dropper facing outwards so it's consistent in the whole design. It doesn't matter as much on the top or the bottom floor, but it does matter in the midsection, so just be aware of that. And now you're just gonna place a block there, and that is that thing all finished. Quickly give it a good test. You should hear 2 clicks just like that, and if you hear those 2 clicks, that means that that is working now. If you look at the bottom of the computer screen, you'll see this wasn't recorded in one day, but I mean, it doesn't matter because it's all going to be one video for you guys anyways. So basically, you can look at this rim here, and before you build this, you need to know that this needs to be, I believe the minimum is 10 blocks up above this this obsidian square here. I mean, black square still works, but obsidian is the actual block itself. Alright, anyways, so just be aware of that, and I'll let you guys look at the frame so you get an idea of what you'll need. 10 blocks up at minimum. I recommend doing more, but I don't know. It depends how big each floor of yours is doing. Anyways, we're going to do that, place that block with a button on top, then we're going to place the dispenser, 2 observers with a block and another dropper. I mean, not a dispenser, they're droppers. Yeah, my brain needs to rewire itself into this. And then place a button on this one. Oh yeah, this one's different than the other ones. But basically, you're just gonna not place that second one there. And place a block there with a redstone dust. And you're gonna come over this way and place 2 droppers facing the same way, and that is those up and down buttons finished. Now we're gonna build the blue system, as I call it. And basically what this is this is just the thing that triggers the release. It's the stopping system and the release of the stopping system. So basically just build 2 blocks like that, and then bam, 1, 2, 3, and place a repeater with a 1 tick delay. Then you're gonna place a blue concrete there, and no, not there. Don't place a. It doesn't matter the block. Right here, just be aware this needs to be an ungrabbable object. Obviously, terracotta isn't immovable. It just needs to be an ungrabbable, so the slime blocks don't grab onto it. Anyways, we're gonna place a comparator there, another comparator, and then we're just gonna use redstone dust, and that is all good there. Then you're gonna place a sticky piston facing downwards with a block attached to it, and another ungrabbable object right there. Basically, the idea is anything that's gonna come in contact with the air elevator, that needs to be ungrabbable. I don't think anything necessarily has to be immovable except for the safety stopper, which I removed. Make sure that's there. And also there's a block at the top, blocks at the top, which I'll get into when I'm showing you the top part. Anyways, getting back into this, you're gonna go like that with another repeater and a block, and make a little square here, and then you are going to place that repeater there with another block with 2 sticky pistons and yeah, 2 sticky pistons, and finally you're going to put grabbable objects there, and that is your stopping system all finished and set up. Quickly just press either of the buttons, make sure that those work, and basically just that piston should fire there. And if that piston's firing, you know you did it right. If it's not firing, then you didn't do it right. Anyways, yeah. Alright, so I said I'd explain what this top thing is. This is basically just going to catch your elevator if for some reason the brakes don't catch in here. So this is just a safety precaution. You don't technically need it, but if you're adding recall, I highly recommend that you keep it there. And yeah, let's get into building this. And while I'm building this, I'm just gonna really quickly say something. It's important once you're done testing. Once you're done building it, to test it. Well, in this stage, because you can see my elevator is 1 floor higher than it was before, and that is because what is it called again? I realized I didn't build this right. I forgot these 2 droppers here, and basically, as you can see, that system's the same as the one we built down there. That's why I don't feel too much need to explain everything I'm doing. And you're also going to build the same brake system you did with the other one. 1, 2, 3, and yeah. So it's important for you guys to test your elevator once you're done with it. And basically what you do is you break that obsidian block at the bottom of it, and then you replace that obsidian block once you're done testing it, and make sure it's down at the bottom again. And yeah, alright, I need to start speeding up my thing because explaining and talking at the same time just don't work for me, so I'm gonna go silent for a little bit. Alright, so that is this floor finished, and I'll show you the little testing clip after this. Alright, you'll just see I've added some signs to label the up and down buttons, and basically let's get into building these doors now, shall we? So basically you're gonna go up 3 of these, and now you are going to have a slab there with redstone dust on top of it. Then you're gonna put a torch, a block, and 2 sticky pistons, and then that door block of your choice. Then you're gonna come across here and, you know, build the secondary torch and place your doors in with the block of your choice. And then you're gonna add, this can just be a normal block, but I'm using a slab because I accidentally put 2 slabs in the materials chest, I'm pretty sure. So I mean, the proof it still works, right? Yeah. That was a bit unnecessary of me. But anyways, that's the bottom doors done. Alright, let's get into building the doors for every other floor. The door design right here is gonna seem a bit scawampus, but this is, I'm building the door how this line would go if you're building recall. It's simplifiable if you're not building recall, but just be aware, don't run the line into this piston. it will bug power it, and it will not activate or deactivate properly. So just be aware that is an issue. But yeah, I'm assuming if you're building the doors, you're probably building recall. Anyways, that's that line done. Now we're gonna move on to this one, which is a lot simpler. Just do that. And yeah, now you probably know what's next. You just place in your doors. Probably help if I place in the top one first. That way it doesn't that way I can actually reach that one. And then just place in your door blocks, and that is all well and good. Alright, this is my warning before recall. I'm going to show you how to fix it. But basically, I just forgot a few repeater timings. So basically, on these ones, I'll also go over it afterwards, so you'll be able to see it a little bit better. But basically, the ones that connect to these need to be on 3 ticks, and the ones that connect to the composter things need to be on 2 ticks. And did I say 4 ticks for these? It's 3 ticks. I don't know why I always think repeaters have 4 ticks. They don't. Anyways, this is just my warning before, and I'll also do one afterwards. So yeah. Alright, so you can see I have these doors here. I added them. So it's basically got the same design to all the other floors if you didn't get that, but I've already built those for you guys. And now I'm going to start on the most complicated system, recall. And basically you're going to start off by placing this block here with a button on it, and now behind it you're going to go up and down like that, add a piece of redstone, and then you're going to come down here, 2 blocks across like that, redstone torch on that one, redstone torch on that one, with a repeater facing into that block, and then a repeater facing back into this block. Make sure this torch is on and this torch is off. And that is that RS NOR latch finished. And now we are going to add this redstone torch right there. That block is unnecessary. You can keep it there if you want, but it is not required. And now you're just going to run this redstone line right on top of that block right there. And now, once you're done with that, you're going to place a block back behind here, a block on top of that one, and then you are not going to do that, and instead place a slab there. Now, fill that up with redstone, place a block with a repeater and a sticky piston. And now you're going to place a block on top of that, and that's going to create you a rising edge monostable circuit. And you're just going to run these blocks out here and fill that in with redstone. Don't remove that piece and place a repeater there. That shouldn't be too much of a hassle, right? I don't have to stop. I don't have to start recording this part for that. Anyways, just place a thing right there, and don't forget to place this dropper right the way back there. And like I said, I'm gonna place all of the observers at the end. But yeah, that's the first floor finished. Alright, something I almost forgot was this little thing right here. It's not, well, it's important, but it's not the biggest deal. I forgot it. It's kind of not connected to anything else up here. But anyways, I'm just going to move on to the middle section now. And now you just are going to start off the same way we did with the other one by building the thingy, the RS NOR latch. You're gonna start off by building that same RS NOR latch that I built in the first thing, and now I'm just gonna make sure that you turn this one off at the beginning, and then you can place that one going back into it. Then just place that redstone dust. And also remember to add the torch right there. Almost forgot that. That would have been kind of weird. Now I just need to add this thing right here, and we're gonna build this out one extra and place some hoppers. Actually, I don't want them facing into the block. Placing them downwards. Okay. I don't think it matters if they're facing in the block, but I'm being consistent with my other one. And now you are going to build behind here. Just add a little pinch of redstone. Then I'm gonna add another little thing here, and add a repeater, and this, and a block up right there. And now you just add some comparators and some redstone dust. Now you're going to add a sticky piston. Make sure to line it up right. Line it up on that repeater right there. Then you're going to build a block underneath it with a sticky piston facing upwards. And you're going to add a torch. Then you're going to come back here and fill in some redstone with a repeater right there. And now I'm going to add the composter and fill it up 3 times with whatever you need to. Just make sure it goes up 3 times. I'm just using cake because I'm in creative, and it's easier because it has a success every time. Then place that button there and deactivate it. You can break the button afterwards, but I'd recommend keeping it because it makes it easier to fix the machine if you accidentally break it later on. So yeah, keep the button there. It also will make this part here also testable to make sure you filled up the composter 3 times correctly. And yeah, you just do that, and then you press the button again, and what you should see is this piston fire downwards. Then you just reset that T flip-flop right there. And that is that bottom section completed. Now this section should be fairly familiar. This is where we build the, whatchamacallit, rising edge monostable circuit. You build that rising edge monostable circuit and add a repeater, and then you're just gonna go bam 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 bam. And this time I'm not adding blocks at the very end because those will be observers later, and I'm adding those at the end. Anyway, that is that floor. Well, actually, not all finished. You could do this in when you add in the observers, but I'm gonna do it now because it's gonna make the floor materials a little bit more consistent. But oh wait, I just remembered something that is also important, and I'm gonna really quickly take a look back at the other design, and then I'll come back here and I'll move on to the top floor. Alright, so I took a quick look, and basically you just have to do this thing. And part of the redstone's on top of the observers, but I'll place it there when I place in the observers. Anyways, let's move on to the beautiful top floor. Oh yeah, the most beautiful of floors. And basically, as you guessed, you start off the same way as any other floor. You burn everything to the ground in hatred. No, don't do that. You start off by building the RS NOR latch, and yeah, I keep forgetting to break that torch every time I mess up the recording. Gosh frickin' dang it. Dang it. Yeah, dang it. Oh, frick. Yeah, make sure don't place that torch first. Don't do that. Don't be like me. Don't do that. Don't make the same mistakes. Alright, now you're gonna place that 3 blocks down, 1 block there, with a what? Okay, and then you're gonna place that, and the rising edge monostable circuit, that is that part done. Actually, don't forget the observer at the side end. And that is going to be important later, you'll see. And now I'm going to add in my favorite thing. The Wujima Himaja. I don't know. I hope I didn't say something weird in another language, because I wasn't trying to. Anyways. Build that. Make sure to line it up with the thingamabobber. Build it. Don't die. And remember, if you're in distress, eat more cake. That's my thing. Yeah. And now we're gonna add in the composter and some cake into it. Or whatever you're adding into it. Or you're just using a cauldron with water in it. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, I like that sound. Makes me happy. And then again, I'm placing the button there. It's to reset it. Make sure you reset it. That's important. And now we are going to grab out a repeater with some redstone after it. And now we're going to build the final part of the machine. Alright. Basically, you just do some of that witchcraft. Place a block down there. And now, just add the most satisfying thing. And that is all those floors finished. And now I can move on to adding them observers. Alright, so now I'm going to move on to placing all of them observers and redstone dust. Place that redstone dust, moving up, placing some redstone dust. Yee-hee. Placing the observers. Don't place them up that high. Okay, and now we're doing the down row. Yes. Okay, add that redstone dust right there. Oh. Okay, then we're gonna add that, like so. Then add the dust to it. I can do an accent. I don't know what accent it is, but I think it's gonna mix up with other things. Alright, and now you just come all the way down to the bottom. Oh, it feels so good. Oh, I can't tell you how good this feels. Probably feels good for you guys too. Oh yeah. Okay. And now you're just gonna add an observer there. And build some observers towards here. Oh, that feels so... I can't... Oh, oh. I've never felt better to place observers in my life. Let me tell you, this feels real good right now. This feels like victory. And you're just gonna build this up. Well, it feels like victory until I realize I placed something wrong. And then my brother's friend. Oh, don't build it up quite that high. You don't need to build it up quite that high. Don't be like me. Just build it up to there. And place in that observer facing like that. And I will get into placing the rest of the observers as I come down. Just those final last observers. Then I'll put in the last redstone dust that is required. And then I'll test it and we'll see if it works. Am I actually sweating? I'm sweating right now. That tells you how long I've been doing this. I am legitimately sweating. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna place in those two observers and a dash of redstone. Uh, and oh, I just need to place those two observers, and then also place a dash of redstone. On top of that, I'll let you know if I forgot anything, but that should be everything finished. And as you know, you can repeat the middle floor as many times as you want. And yeah, and then I'll build some sort of safety system or something, and I'll be all done with this. Alright, this is my warning afterwards again, because I forgot some repeater timings. So I'll just show you. So the one that connects to the yellow, to this dropper here. So all the ones that, all these side ones that connect to droppers need to be set to 4 ticks. I mean, not 4 ticks, 3 ticks. And 4 ticks does not exist. That would just reset it. And the ones connected to the T flip-flops, I called them cauldron things the first thing, but I mean, you didn't know you might have not known what they're called before. You just set those to 2 ticks, and that will completely fix your thing. So, just in case you forgot, I'm really sorry. I just feel like it's not worth re-recording all this stuff, just because I forgot a few repeater timings. So, hopefully that's not too much of a hassle for you to fix, and if it is, just let me know in my next tutorial video. I'll make sure to fix it. So, anyways, yeah. I'll get on with showing you how to fix it. Alright, so this is my little thing showing you how to fix it. So, you know, for whatever, if you, let's say you forgot to remove the obsidian block, so you press the button, and suddenly, wait a second, my elevator's not coming up. This actually may have happened to you. And, basically, it's pretty easy to fix. All you have to do is come over here and place, you just gotta power this. I'm gonna power it with a redstone torch. No, that's not right. I'm going to power it, like I said, with the redstone torch. And now that that's unpowered and that's repowered, the next step is to fix, oh wait, no, these all deactivated. Alright, if those break, you just press the button and they'll be fixed again, but make sure to deactivate the top torch first, and that should, in theory, deactivate everything else. And occasionally, the elevator may become completely broken, whether it was a lag spike or I don't know what else could cause it besides you accidentally did something wrong in the redstone. It's kind of hard to do. I've had it happen once, but that was while I was building it and figuring stuff out. So, anyways, that's how you would fix it if for whatever reason it didn't come to your floor. And yeah, and another thing with covering the redstone, but you don't have to use obsidian. I'm just using obsidian because that was what I was holding. That is how you kind of do the door part. I'm kind of doing it as simple as possible. So you can see, just make sure you don't accidentally cut off any redstone by accident, which means make sure there's like a pillar there or something in front of these. Usually people are going to hide those that way anyways. But yeah, that's just how you hide them. And now I'm going to make a little safety system, hopefully. If I end up figuring out that it takes too much time and it's not worth it, I'm sorry. But I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I probably won't give a tutorial on it, just because I feel at this point, I want to see you guys make a safety system. And I'll explain how you would go about doing that afterwards. But for right now, I'm going to try making one. I'll show you it, and you can kind of copy it from what you see. And anyways, I'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys, I'm back here, and unfortunately I wasn't able to fulfill what I wanted to do. I'll explain it to you so you can probably create your own. And yeah, I'm kind of out of time, so I can't fix it. So if you're on a multiplayer server, this is where you want it. Basically, I was just trying to make this lamp turn on, and when it would turn on when the elevator is parked to the floor, and when it was being used, it would turn off. And there'd be a sign on it that said, "Don't use while lamp is off. Don't use recall." And basically, yeah. I'll kind of show you what I was going for. I was going for whenever it was at a floor, whatever blocks were powered, which would either be the door blocks or this block right here. It would go through a thing that makes sure it doesn't come back into it, and basically it's just a big old powering mess thing, a bobber. And I have two lines, one going up, one going down, just to make sure I can power everything correctly. And it didn't work. It's powering something it's not supposed to be, so it kind of broke the elevator. I mean, well, no, it broke recall was the problem. I believe it still works if you're just going up and down, so, but that's not much use because it's supposed to prohibit people from using recall. Anyways, I'm sorry guys. Let me know what I can do better next time for this tutorial video, because I'm sure it has a ton of flaws. So yeah, let me know what you would do, and just give me your constructive feedback. And I say constructive because some people think that calling them stupid and that they don't know how to make videos is constructive feedback. But anyways, thank you for making it to the end of the video, and you guys are awesome. Ah!